Good afternoon, Georgia Assembly and state legislators. I am Julie Wanzik, House Representative for District 6, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to testify today on behalf of saving our Medicaid expansion budget in House Bill 188, 2017 to 2018 for the citizens of Georgia. We all know that Medicaid has been a long-standing, long-term care program since 1965 in our state, and Peach Care for Kids has helped cover uninsured children in Georgia since 1998. Presently, Georgia Medicaid covers 1,700,000 adults, and Peach Care for Kids covers 894,000 children. I'm here today advocating for equity, quality, and accessibility for a basic human right that is health care for all Georgia residents. Medicaid provides vital services to many of our underserved population. The American Health Care Act, the AHCA, proposed this year threatens the open-ended state and federal funding that guarantees coverage for all qualified individuals, and it erodes the very foundation for a Medicaid expansion to cover even more citizens in Georgia that are falling through the cracks of our system. Medicaid and Peach Care for Kids is the largest health insurer of children in our state. Approximately 20% of the children have special needs. 65% of these children live in a family with at least one full-time worker. Currently, federal funding in Georgia will be cut if our state-funded Medicaid budget is cut. We stand to lose $2 for every federal fund for every dollar that we cut at our Medicaid state budget, thus leaving hundreds of thousands of these children without health insurance. That's $2 from federal funds for every dollar we cut here at the state. The caps to Medicaid limit the amount of federal funding our state receives for Medicaid, thus disproportionately harming lower income families. Further, something we can all talk about is that as we enter hurricane season, the lower Georgia fault line is at risk for handicapped emergency preparedness responsibilities. As we receive flooding routinely, these regions require state aid and health respite care. Capping Medicaid will increase the cost after natural disasters, increasing new epidemics and the inability to access care, and increase the cost of treatment, which will spike a crisis, just like the rise in street pain relief has led to the opioid crisis. This Medicaid gap will do the following. 6 points. First, it will jeopardize Georgia's ability to provide health care to citizens who need it most. Second, it will jeopardize Georgia's state budget through the compromising amount of federal funding we receive. 49% of Medicaid goes to Medicaid, 17% goes to our schools, 9% for transportation, and 18% of the federal funds go to other programs our state desperately needs. This impact, thirdly, will cause a long-lasting impact. Georgia already spends less than most states on disabled Medicaid enrollees, at just $13,000 a year. Capping and not expanding our Medicaid budget will yield historically low spending, and a permanent federal funding ceiling will be in place. This will inhibit increasing our state budget in the future, making our already underserved population further depressed and untreated. Fourth, federal penalization will happen as we show the government our priorities. If we don't fund it, why should they? As Georgia spends 68% of federal monies on Medicaid and just 32% of the state budget on Medicaid, we stand to lose quite a bit for our citizens. The AHCA does not account for state-specific growth rates. This is my fifth point. As our elderly population in Georgia expands higher than the federal standard, capping Medicaid monies and not expanding the budget will hinder our ability to provide adequate care for this population. Essential programs is my last point. The sixth point is that closure of these programs through lack of funding will cause home visit programs to be lessened. Children with disabilities will not receive programs. 968,000 women and girls who need Medicaid throughout their lives will not receive care, and mental illness services will suffer, and 20% of our population in rural areas will be underserved. Failure to acknowledge the ramifications of underestimated health costs and inaction to support and protect the health of Georgians, especially the young and poor, is a failure on our state government. I plead with you now to save House Bill 188, 2017-2018, to vote tonight and enact this Medicaid expansion to help all uninsured citizens. Thank you, House. I look forward to working with you on the docket. Have a great night.